We've looked at a lot of theoretical examples. Now it's time to look at some actual examples. Here we see a daily chart of Microsoft in 2010. This long decline culminates in a hammer. After a small rally, remember candlesticks are only expected to have an effect for 5 to 10 candles, we see a hanging man. This is immediately confirmed with a bearish engulfing pattern, as the hanging man's real body is totally engulfed by the next long black day. This chart for Adaptec features two engulfing formations, a bearish one just here and an extremely positive bullish one at the start of this rally. In this Adaptec chart, we see two small real bodies at the bottom of a long upper wick. They have different implications though. Here's a bullish inverted hammer at the end of this small decline. On the other hand, at the end of this strong rally, we see a gravestone doji, which is quickly confirmed by this long black candle. Abbott Labs first of all offers an example of a candle failure, as this perfectly reasonable engulfing pattern is cancelled by this white candle. Later on we see a valid bullish engulfing pattern. So why does this one work and the other one not? Probably because the dominant trend was positive and the bullish engulfing pattern was signaling in its direction, whereas the failed bearish pattern turned out to be a counter-cyclical signal. Finally, we see another bearish engulfing pattern, but this does not work until confirmed with this bearish evening star. Even then, this negative combination was only followed by a small decline because that uptrend was so powerful. Abbott Labs offers an example of a long-legged doji. This pattern tells us of a fine balance between buyers and sellers following a 2-day advance. Now I would have preferred to have seen the doji part develop above the upper real body of the preceding white candle, but you can't have everything. Indeed, the day after the doji is a black real body that closes below the previous white candle's opening. Definite negative confirmation here. The next event is a bearish evening star, but it doesn't have much downside influence, possibly for two reasons. First, to be really effective, bearish stars need to be preceded by a nice rally, and this one wasn't. Second, although we didn't know it at the time, the next two candles formed a bullish, piercing white line, where the white candle's real body opened below the previous close, and itself closed more than halfway up that previous black candle's real body. The green line represents that halfway point. This quick cancellation from a bearish star to a bullish piercing white line is a great reflection of the idea that the market is people in action. It's driven by psychology, and people can and do change their minds. If that's the case, so too can markets. And we better take note of that when a bearish pattern is cancelled by a bullish one, or vice versa. This next rally ends with a small hanging man. Its real body is above that of the previous white candle, but a better example would have been if the real body was substantially above it and the lower wick was much longer. Finally, just to prove that engulfing patterns are not always of the reversal type, we see a consolidation variety that forms part of the downtrend.